Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Indie Tuesday Reviews. Now, a quick rundown of what this is before we begin. This is a review for any indie games I've done so far every week. I'll explore everything that's on my mind and then give the game a solid 1 out of 5. Now, let's go. Bullets per minute. Okay, so I was keeping my eye on this game for a few months, and I got it a few days after it had been released. The idea of playing a game with a rhythm shooter was a really cool concept for me. It made me remember games like Pistol Whip, Beat Saber, and my personal favorite when I was a kid, Geometry Dash. I'm a fan of playing games that have cool music in the background, so let's dive into the nitty-gritty. After making a video on BPM, I kept on playing it, seeing how far I could go and what the mechanics were. For the most part, I hated them. So let's talk about them. Number 1 on my annoying list is reloading. Now, in this game, you must manually put in the bullets into your gun. Now, let me just state, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this idea, at least, but not the way they presented. So, essentially, you have to click the reload button every single time you want to put in a bullet or clip. So, in short, if I shoot 6 times with my revolver, I have to stop the flow of the game and keep reloading 6 times. Then I can shoot again. Personally, the only games with a manual reload mechanic that I actually enjoyed was Pavlov or Pistol Whip. In short, VR games. Because you're actually using your body, it feels more intense and thrilling. While playing bullets per minute, it just felt like a wrench in the cog. Number 2 is the music. So the music itself was pretty cool. The problem is that I felt like it was fighting against me. Now, I know the concept may be to go with the flow of the music, but it was very narrow for me. So narrow and linear that I found it frustrating. I'm used to games where I unload my gun as fast as possible these days, like Battlefield, Pavlov, and CSGO. So you get the idea. You need trigger discipline to get anywhere in this game, unless you have the rhythm assist mode on, like I eventually turned on because of my frustration. It's ingrained in my neurons to, when I see an enemy, I unload my whole clip. Now, enough with that. On to number 3 is the restart button. Whenever you die in a game, you are sent back to the beginning of 10 areas. Now, this is standard in any old school game, which I like. What I don't like is it never really felt exciting to do it all over again. It was more like, shit, I have to do this all over again. I don't say that with old games because they are the foundation that we built this stuff on. Now, we're in 2020, and I expect more. If I'm doing an arcade game in 2020, made by people in 2020, cool. But don't just put me in the same random room with boring monsters and tell me to do that 50 times over before I master said areas and make it to the next area that I want to be in. It was cool the first few times, but then it feels so repetitive and so deja vu that it didn't feel like I was playing a randomly generated thing. It just felt like I was playing different rooms in different locations with the same enemies in them. Lastly, the bosses felt underwhelming for me. They were clunky at times, but weren't all that bad, but they didn't live up to the hype I had in my head. But, having said all these horrible things, enough about the cons. Let's get to what the game is good at. Now, I touched on this a little, but the music was cool. Each stage had music that I liked, and the first 3 times I went through the area, I liked it at least. Unfortunately, it didn't go well with me after I'd gone through the area multiple times. The music got annoying. I noticed also that the music didn't really change much as I progressed through different areas. Maybe, to be fair, however, I'm not a music expert, so perhaps there were changes I just couldn't hear or understand. But I just didn't really hear that much of a difference. Now, the guns, they're okay to fire. They're not bad. They felt okay. There's nothing really to explore with that. The guns were okay. Now, the abilities were nice. And the items, I always loved it when I swapped things out. I always contemplated which item I would want to go for the next encounter, which is important to me in any roguelike game. So, the final verdict. The game got things right, but the ideas they put into play felt like they butted heads with one another. The reloading took me out of the rhythm, and the constant stream of enemies I had to face 50 times really made me lose interest. The clunky bosses took me out to reconsider how much I love Dark Souls and filled me with the desire to play Dark Souls again. While the music was okay, it fought against me wanting to play the game. I wish I could have had my own music in and make a playlist, but they didn't seem to have that option, sadly. Overall, I give it a 2 out of 5. There's still room for improvement, so I'll be waiting to see what they do next. Arrog, an extremely cryptic story to one's own interpretation. It was beautiful, abstract, and simple. Someone once told me that less is more. This statement is this game. While it was $3, the game was around 30 minutes long, which is worth the money in my opinion. It has great art, nice music. I've played quite a lot of puzzle games, enough to tell you that I enjoy them, and I suck at them. These puzzle games were very simple. A child could solve them, which didn't hinder the game in my opinion. For guys like me that appreciate puzzles but suck at them, this made the story much faster. It was nice for me. It felt nice to see a puzzle, easily get through it, and progress with a story I eagerly wanted to see the end of. Well, I'm sure there is a meaning of this story that I didn't understand. I still liked it. I think the game had charm. It's up to your own interpretation, in my opinion. While there wasn't much to go over in this game, I believe it was simple. Less is more, and this game shows. It was beautiful. There's not much else to tell about it. Final verdict, a simple 4 out of 5 for this simple game. Hey guys, I said this last video as a special note or special shout out, but now that I'm looking back, I'm probably going to say this every episode, so it's just a not special note. Just wanted a not special note to all of the developers that worked on these indie games. Links below for anyone who are interested in the games or them. They always need support. Everyone needs support. I need support, you need support, let's support each other. Even if I gave them a low rating, I hope you guys still support them, through and through. Thanks for watching my video, guys. And by the way, all the other indie games I've been doing on the channel, like Song of Horror, Lovecraft, Untold Stories, all those games shall be reviewed after I finish the story. I finished the story for Arrog, which was really short, and honestly, Bullets Per Minute didn't have a story, so I thought it would be fine if I reviewed it right now. So I was just letting you guys know, I only review these things on Tuesday if I've gotten through the whole story. Otherwise, I don't feel like I'm able or should review an indie game unless I know the full story of the game. So until then, like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to stick around. Till the next video, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, you do you.